pieces against Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH. And apparently, I saw on Twitter that he has a refutation or some really good line against the Ba3 London system. So we better find out what it is. Let's do it. Everyone's saying Ba3 London. So okay, let's do it. All right, here we go. What am I going to fall into today then? So Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH is, what is your rating nowadays? Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH in real rating terms. Is my video blurry or not? I can't tell. I can't tell, and I haven't even had a beer. Is my video blurry? It looks blurry to me. I don't like. I'm going to just readjust this. What's your rating? Video is fine. Okay. What's your rating, Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH? Come on. I ain't going to play a move until you do it. Oh, this is your refutation. Okay. So it's just my eyes that are blurry. My eyes aren't blurry, Jerry. My eyes are okay. Okay. Just clarifying that. Nothing wrong with my eyes, thank you. Okay, so what am I going to do against the Dutch? I hate it when people do. Do the Dutch against me. It's not fair. Using my own weapons, I already stumped to what to do. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play in this position. I'm going to play. I often play H3 and G4. That is the Korchnoi Gambit. Oh, I suppose Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH is turned off. I think Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH is rated around 2100 elo, something like that, I guess. So he's a good player. So I've played that so many times, you might be expecting that. I want to play something exciting. Let's play something exciting. I'm not going to go for Ba3 London against the Dutch. You can, of course, go Knight C3, and I recommend that in the course. But let's do something a little bit funky. What are we going to do? Well, another little gambit I could do is F3 and E4. What about the Staunton Gambit? Should we go for the Staunton? Let's go for the Staunton Gambit. Let's do it. E4. So we're going to go Staunton it up. I haven't played this for a long time. So this is quite an interesting gambit. You're okay. Okay, so Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH is saying he's logged off the stream, so he can't hear my tips. So the idea of this time limit, it is quite a long time limit. I'm basically going to talk about what I'm thinking during the course of this game. You guys hopefully will get some tactics. Now, the idea of this, it was played by, funnily enough, a guy called Howard Staunton, an English chess player. And it's trying to take advantage of the fact that the Black King is kind of weak on this diagonal. Now, I wonder if Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH has brought my course. Now, the funniest ever move I saw in this position was the one and only Gary O'Grady. I think Gary O'Grady had about 15 pints of Guinness. It was one of the first times I played in Bunratty, and I just laughed after his next two moves. He played it against me in the pub, and I just couldn't stop laughing. Probably not a good idea to do that in a tournament. Your opponent plays a move. Can you imagine this? The candidates tournament, and like, I don't know, MVL's playing against Ding. Ding plays a move, and MVL just goes. But he actually played Queen H5 check here. Probably thought it was checkmate. Black played G6. Picture these moves: Queen here, G6, and then he went Bishop E2. The O'Grady Gambit. And the idea is, if pawn takes queen, bishop takes theirs, checkmate. I'm not going to play that because it's not very good. But it's quite funny. Okay, so this is the main line. Knight to C3. Just aiming to win the pawn back on E4. Yeah, I've got to move. Now, the time limit is 15 minutes, but you get 30 seconds a move. And this, if I can win that pawn back, generally that is a good sequence of events for me, because the Dutch pawn on F5 has now moved, and the Black King is a little bit weak now. You can see it is weakened here. So Black should probably try to hang on to this pawn. Now, a blunder that many players play is D5 here. D5 is a mistake, because then you can go check, and you can win the pawn back like that. So Knight to F6 is one of the main moves, the main move, should I say. And now Bishop G5 is one of the main responses. Now, there are also some other interesting moves here, like G4, G5 is very interesting. And f3 is also very interesting. I quite like this f3 move, I have to say, with the idea of going for quick development. With, he takes, I get my knight out quickly, my bishop can come here and here. So the two moves I'm thinking of, g4 is interesting, but maybe not the best move. It's very aggressive. Very interesting position, this. Is either the main line with bishop g5, but I don't think I'll play main line today. Let's do something a bit sideliney. Maybe I will play g4. So bishop g5 is the main line, just maybe taking back there, developing a piece, aiming a castle. When I think knight c6 is best. So I'm gonna play f3, which is the side gambity line. Now, of course, black should be absolutely fine in these positions, but one of the advantages in chess of not playing the main lines, so not playing the lines which everyone else plays, in chess, I often think it's good to be different, a little bit different, like in life, really. You don't want to be a sheep. You want to be a herder. No one wants to be the sheep, do they? Even though I think I'm, what year am I in the Chinese zodiac? I think I'm year of the sheep. So I am probably, I'm a sheep. I don't really believe that I am a sheep. It's better, and in chess, it's better to play sidelines because your opponent may be a little bit like, oh, what's going on? And here, my opponent probably doesn't know the best move there, which I think is d5. I struggle to remember. And he's given the pawn back straight away. So now I haven't even gambited a pawn, and I should be slightly better in these positions. And the thing is, when you take a pawn, as black has done, you can give the pawn back, but only if it gives you a lot of freedom. So it's, it gains time, gets your pieces out. Now this move e3, it doesn't really gain black much freedom. So if I was black, I'd have tried to hang on to my pawn a little bit longer by playing d5, so I could, still have that advantage. Okay, even though I'm saying that, this is not a terrible position for black whatsoever. He's played d5 now, and I have a couple of ideas in my head. Now, positionally speaking, you think of two things in chess. You think of the pawn structure and the pieces. The pawn structure, where the pawns are like your skeleton. That's what keeps your body in place. And the pieces are like your organs. It's what's keep the skeleton going. Now, the pawn structure is better for me. Maybe you guys can answer why it's better for me. Hello, Perno. I've got to sort out your thing. I said I'll do that tomorrow. Remind me. If you remind me tomorrow, Perno, that'd be good. It's been a bit of a busy day. Now, white is basically better here because this pawn is very weak. It's a backwards pawn. I mean, I could clamp down on that with f4 straight away, but I'm just going to develop. Let's get this piece out. This stops him bringing a bishop here. And next, I want to probably go f4 because then I get a nice hold on the central square. This square here, that one in red. You like the way I'm not painting it back, I'm painting it red. And then I can try to get my knight maybe into this square. This is what I call an outpost. And outposts are created by pawn structure, the skeleton. It's an outpost because if you can imagine I get a knight there, my opponent can never kick it away with a pawn. He can't go d6 because he's already pushed that pawn too far. And he can't go f6 because he ain't got an f-pawn no more, son. So I'm thinking now f4, knight f3, knight e5 is a nice way to play. Where will I put my king? No one knows. Am I gonna... I mean, I'll probably castle queenside because that looks more fun. But that means I need to move my queen. I'll probably put my queen here because that's a half open line. Again, pawn structure. He has a pawn on this line. I don't. Meaning you want to put straight line pieces on this line. So a rook or a queen. Other things I can try to do here, if I want to be super aggressive, is go g4, g5. Because my pawn on f3 is in a perfect situation to support the g-pawn going up the board. Why might that be a good idea? That might be a good idea because his knight is the only developed piece and it hasn't got many good squares to go to. And if I can combine that with a later queen coming in here, fantastic. What about my opponent's ideas? At the moment, I'm only talking about my own ideas. Chess is always a battle between your ideas and your opponent's ideas. If I was black here, I would be thinking seriously about c5 in this position, but I don't think it works. Actually, maybe it does. Maybe c5 is a very good move here. Because, actually, I think it is a very good move. because the idea is c5, if I'd have taken on c5, he could then go e5, and he gets 2 pawns in the centre of the board, and he can maybe use these pawns. So I think c5 would have been a better move. Developing his knight there gets in the way of the c pawn. Now he might be trying to get rid of my bishop, but even then I'm not too afraid. I can just go queen takes, and I've got good development. So I think he should have gone c5. Now I will try to keep up with the chat as much as I can. If I miss something, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. We have GM Canty in the house. Maybe we played the other day. If we did, and I did a runner, GM Canty, I'm sorry. I had to. I don't know. I had to go somewhere. I don't know what I was doing, but I did mean to play a rematch. So I'm sorry. GM Canty, great streamer, guys. Check out his streams. Follow him now. Get on the case. And he also plays the Black Lion. Give it a rah. And there you go. Other great players playing the Black Lion. He also rocks the opening. It's a funky little opening, boys and girls. Okay, so what am I doing here? Well, I don't know. I mean, he might want to go e5. So I could continue with my plan of f4, stopping that one, getting a control of that one. Because if he goes e5, he kind of like frees up his position. And I don't want him to free up his position. This is a bad pawn. Later on, it's going to be a real weakness if I can get rooks against it. So I think this is the sensible move. Just play here, get a little bit of a hold on that square, and get my knight to this square. Maybe put my queen here. Probably castle queen side, but I can castle king side, and just try to stop this pawn from going. Okay, so now the bishop has come out for a little bit of fun and games. And, well, I could actually play bishop e2. Now, whenever you've got an opportunity to exchange piece for piece, so bishop for bishop, you have to always just think logically. Chess is a logical game. Does it help me if these pieces are removed from the board? How does it help me? How does it help my opponent? Well, if I do that, this square becomes very weak. If I remove the bishop, so maybe my knight could come in there later on. So this is not a crazy idea, bishop e2. But also, I think knight to f3 can't be bad. Because if he exchanges off his bishop for my knight, his light squares, look at those holes. They're gaping holes. And those light squares will be very dangerous for him. So I'm just going to develop. Why the hell not, eh? Okay. Thank you for the shout out, GM Canty. And of course, you can see just Monday, the Black Line, 15 hours of videos, 2 months of not leaving my room. I was sitting in my room for 21 hours a day. I'd only leave to have 1 pint in the local pub and to occasionally use the toilet and wash my face. 2 months of hard labour I did to bring you this course. And it's only on sale for a limited time, so go and check out the links. If you want to support what I do as well, it's a great way to support it. You will get a great opening in return. So go and buy it now. The links are coming up. They're coming up. Moobot's throwing them in there for you. So if you want to support me, and, cool, do it, man, do it. Okay, right, so maybe I will actually just castle kingside. The reason for this is I don't think it benefits me castling either side. I'm also thinking if he takes there, queen takes, he might have knight b4 and get rid of this bishop. So another very sensible move is just to go a3 to stop this idea of the knight coming in, because I want to keep this bishop. This bishop seems very nice. Now I'm wondering if my opponent, after something like h3, might even go knight to this, bishop to this square. He could do something like that. So I think I'm going to castle first of all, as I'm going to take back the rook here, which means my queen defends c2 if knight b4. And I'm going to maybe try to play h3, and then try to either plonk my knight into this outpost we talked about, or just capture back with something. When my bishop here looks very good, maybe I don't need to play a3. And he's got to decide where he puts his king, because if he goes kingside, then there could be a little bit of pressure against h7. But if he goes queenside, then I might better run my pawns up the board. So maybe I should have played a3. My opponent's put the bishop on b4. He's put it on b4. Someone's saying his chess ball lagging. That's because everyone's buying my course, man. Everyone's buying the course. Remember, please, go and check it out anyway. By the way, I'll let you know there's going to be a free 1 hour video coming up on the course tomorrow. So if you don't want to buy it, wait until tomorrow, check the video up, but it's only on sale for a limited time. You'll be kicking yourself if you don't buy it until that time's up. Okay, so what does my opponent want to do? Well, actually, quite a clever idea. He wants to try to get hold of this square. I've got to move. I'm running out of time. This square is an outpost that he has. So I have 2 pieces defending that square. And my opponent, Jax, is trying to get rid of one of the pieces that's defending that square. So he probably wants to take here and then put his knight into that square. So what I'm doing here, I'm giving him decision. I love these moves. I call them kick moves. Kick moves. Your opponent moves a piece into your half of the board. You give it a kick. Okay, so I could take his bishop now, but then knight takes, and he threatens my bishop. So I'm just going to play this one very sensibly. I do double my pawns, but this can also be an advantage to me because I have a B file to attack on, and I might better use these pawns to come forwards. Okay, so he's gone bishop here, kind of as expected. Now, interesting situation. I actually think I'd love him to take my bishop. Why? Because then I can take with my pawn. Really, this is quite a positional game because I'm thinking about this square and this square. They're both quite weak. If he gets a knight to either of those squares, there or there, it'll be hard for me to get rid of. So I'm actually going to play g4, which is a positional move, trying to make his bishop take mine, because then I can take back with a pawn, and his knight will have nowhere to go then. My pawn structure is very good then. I have a lot of central pawns, so I'm just giving him another kick. This could backfire, because he could go h5 later on, and then his rook could come down the h-file, so you've got to be aware, every pawn move you play creates a weakness as well. Thank you, Karisak, for saying the course is great so far. That's very good. I mean, there is a money-back guarantee on the course as well. So even if you buy the course and you think this is shit, then, you know, which you won't do, I hope not, then you can get your money back anyway. Woohoo! That's pretty handy. I mean, did your sub come through, Perno? I have no idea, mate. Thank you for subbing. Thank you for trying to sub. A little bit too many things to look at the moment, but thank you. Anyone who subs, anyone who supports the stream, cheers. Okay, so definitely, I don't want to take the queen now. That'd be really bad, but my idea is pawn takes, and he can never get in now. So I've actually covered my outposts. So this square is not a square for his knight, so his knight is very bad. If he tries to break me over there, I will just push on, and I'll force his knight backwards. And my general plan here is to play against his weakest pawn. Which is his weakest pawn? It's e6. Someone's asking, why didn't he go bishop e4? We'll have a look at these moves afterwards. But the quick answer is knight g5, I think, Jensen. Did bishop takes g4 work? I very much doubt it. I think I'm defended quite easily. Okay, it does look like, Yobius, you have... given a donation. Thank you. I don't know why my donation ticker is not working at the moment, so I apologize if I'm missing your donations. Sorry about that, but thank you anyone who does support, obviously. Okay, so in this position, I now am thinking of g5. The only problem with that is every pawn move makes a weakness. What square do I weaken by moving this? I weaken this square, f5. And he might be able to move his knight into f5 later on. So it's kind of double-edged. But I'm also thinking, do I now come in, like a move like this? But then he opens up the h-file. And I know Jax is a very aggressive player. And sometimes you have to play against the opponent. And I know, I'm not saying I'm scared of him attacking. But I'm just a little bit scared. So I'm going to keep it closed to stop him attacking me. And now I'm going to let's use one open line. I might as well put my rook on an active square, create a threat. Hello, Stelly. How you doing? It has been a long time no see. And thank you, anyone who's donated and some. Yobius, thank you so much, of course. But my long-term plan here is this pawn. Because this is what we call a backwards pawn. It's not supported by another pawn. If you had a pawn there, it wouldn't be backwards. But this pawn can't be defended easily. He can't move that pawn because I'm controlling the square it moves to. So one very easy plan for me is just to gang up on that pawn, get my rook on it, get my queen on it, move the bishop out of the way. Where do I want to put my bishop? You always want to put your pieces on the best squares. Well, my bishop's not a very good piece, I have to say. But maybe my bishop is actually best on a3. because on A3 it has more scope. Look at all those squares it'd be going to. So this is the kind of thing I'm thinking. My opponent might want to use the F5 square. This is the one weak square I have. But even if he comes here, it's not so threatening. And if he moves his knight here, which he has done, I kind of expected that, I'm going to block his idea. Now, this is maybe where other players wouldn't do this. I could take on B7, but there's two ideas then. He has knight F5 and he has knight B6, trapping my rook. Now, I don't want to give my opponent any active play. I'm higher rated than my opponent. The best way to beat low rated players, and I hope I'm not being rude here, is to stop their plans. And Perno, you have got the plan 100%. I want to work against his one idea, so I'm just going to put my knight on H4. Very well found out, Perno. Because now, if he comes here, okay, he gets rid of his weakened pawn, but it looks like he'll be opening up a line of attack towards his king then. So he swaps one weakness for another. Remember, if he ever castles now, I can take Harry. So his king will become very weak if he goes there. He does get rid of a positional weakness, but it might turn into a tactical weakness because his king is on an open line. My king is safer than his. I'm still blocking off any way he can attack me here. So this is what I'm trying to do in this game. I'm trying to restrain my opponent, stop him from being active. I'm trying to control squares, and I'm slowly trying to pressurize his weaknesses. So this one and this one are my two main ideas. I'm maybe going to try to improve my pieces as we go along as well. I could play F5 as well if I want to go tactical. This is something my opponent definitely has to be aware of. When your opponent's king hasn't castled, of course, you should be looking at ways to blow them away. And F5 is one way to do that. But I'd have to calculate that. I'd have to calculate that carefully because I don't want to open up the position to my own king as well. At the moment, these two pawns are very nicely protecting it. So you have to be careful when you play pawn breaks. Okay, in the chat, kind of going for a Zugzwang win, says Jerry. That's kind of right. Jerry, Jerry, the origin of the Jerry Chestnut Network. Why can't I say his name? He's brilliant. I love his videos. He's the daddy. He is the granddaddy of online chess. Oh, Jerry, Chess Network, isn't it? So here's a bit of lemonade to you, Jerry. I wish it was. I wish it wasn't lemonade. Okay, right. So we know what we're doing here. We're taking this one off. I actually won this in Bumrati. Can you see what it says? Can anyone read that? Can anyone read that? What does that say? Can anyone read that? Thank you to the Germans who donated this. It says, I won the Bumrati Blitz 2020 and all I got was this glass. Oh, I love the glass. I love it. Okay, so now I want to do something against this guy here. So remember to do that, and again, it's logical. I've got to get this bishop out the way because I want to use this file. So my first thinking is bishop comes around to this square, and then I have a check. But my second thinking is he might want to come here. I'm not going to take here yet, so I think I'm going to go bishop c1. Now, you might be thinking, why am I moving my piece back? It was doing nothing on e3. When you have pawns of the same kind of square as your bishop, and your bishop is behind them, your bishop is kind of rubbish. So I'm trying to give it a better route. I'm trying to give it better freedom. That cuts his king off as well. I'm also trying to open up some lines. I'm also, if he castles, getting ready to take there, and maybe my queen can come here and have a little bit of pressure against that one. Yule was delighted to give it to you, Simon. Well, I don't know how to pronounce names, but Yule from Germany, Dr. Yule, is a fantastic guy. Lovely, lovely person. Okay, let me try to... I'll try to keep up the chat, not losing time, drink my lemonade, explain the chess. Who said men can't multitask? Okay. Hi, Simon. I'm doing an art project related to chess for my university course. and also online fences. Could I potentially draw your beautiful bearded face? Man, you would not be the first person to draw my bearded face. There you go. Take a snapshot of that. Okay. Good luck to you making me look nice. Actually, you know what? Perfection is not. I don't think perfection is great. I prefer imperfection. Does that make sense? Imperfection. Like the best pieces of art, like Mona Lisa's smile. It's not perfect, you know. So anyway, I'm not saying I'm art. I'm certainly not. I'm a bloody disaster zone. Trust me. But anyway, yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. Of course you can. Of course you can. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Okay, right. So stopping this idea. Now I've got to move a little bit quicker here. Now I don't really want to play G6, or do I? Ooh, G6. Are you calling my name? No, I don't want to do that yet. I didn't want to allow the queen here and counterplay, but then black's king comes this way. The problem is if I check now, the king comes to f7. Now, if I'm not keeping up with chats, I'm going to play here because my queen wasn't doing anything, and I create a threat, and I'm getting ready to put a rook here, but also I'm liking c4. c4 is very good because I'm going to bust my way through. Now, do I play bishop here first? I think I do, because look how good my bishop has become. It's completely cutting off black's king, and I might be trying to get a rook in. So my opponent's gone king here, and this is looking very good for me. Now, I might even go king h1, g6, and then rook h1, but I like c4. My opponent's knight is a very bad piece. Maybe my opponent will go knight to f8 there. Can I even just play rook here and come in? Because if rook to e8, I take on here. This is simple. Always trying to find the simplest solution. My rook is not doing anything on the b file anymore. So let's put it on this file. And of course, you can, of course, draw a picture of me. I'm looking forward to my national championships then at FM. Yeah, of course, anyone can draw pictures of me if they want to. You know, it's really not a problem. And I look forward to seeing it if you could show me. Okay, right. Now, I could come in when my opponent has to sack the queen, probably. But is he going to get some kind of blockade then with this? Well, I go check, and then my queen comes in, and then he's going to go rook e8. I will show these ideas afterwards. I think I should be playing this move first. Even though this probably wins the queen, my opponent might have got a blockade then by putting the rook here. This move, I want to open up the position, because if I can open up the position, I can find a way through. And now that my opponent has broken the coordination between these rooks, so Jax can't play a rook here, now I want to come in here, because now if Jax sacrifices the queen, he won't be able to get control of the open E line. I hope not. So I'll be able to go check queen here and come in. So yeah, so it is a winning position there. Maybe a little bit prematurely resigning, but the Hammer of Damascus was, is that right? Hammer of Damascus? Is that the right hammer? The Sword of Damascus. It's not a bloody hammer, it's a sword, Simon. The Sword of Damascus was ready to chop his bloody head off, as we say in England. Well, Henry VIII said that a lot. And I've actually been, a lot of people think I look like Henry VIII, not that they've ever met the chap, with my rather large belly, big beard, and ginger hair. Okay, where's my handicap advantage? Sorry, Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH. Let's all give Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH a round of applause. So, thank you, Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH, for playing. Chesspatzer said he hates that line so much, so I picked a very good opening line. If you hate a line so much, check it out. Make sure you don't fall for it again. See, if you have my chessball course, do you have it? Then you probably know what you're doing. Well done, thank you. Okay, so there we go. Right, so what we're going to do now, we're only doing an hour's show, this is a long play game, so don't worry about ratings. The reason my rating is so low is because I played so many computer cheats. They've taken me down. They're taking me down. I've lost loads of rate points. And also, I've probably played after a whiskey or four. Okay. let's have a look. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to put this on the chess.com checker. So you guys, what do you think my accuracy rating will be? The chess.com computer gives you an accuracy rating, and what do you reckon it's going to be? Is it going to be like 10% or is it going to be in the 90s? I'm going for 90s. 38? Jimster? Have a little bit of respect. Don't you know I'm a bloody GM? I'm a GM, son. I ain't. I'm a GM. Even though Ben Feingold would not agree. Bastard. I'm a GM, apparently. I am a GM. I am. I really am. Okay, let's have a look. So, what we're going to do, I'm just going to readjust the scene. Might have to get rid of my face, which I'm sure a lot of you would be happy about. And we're going to have a look what the computer says is the my accuracy level. And I'll have a look at the game. I'll analyse it. I'll probably try to give Chesspatzer some tips as to what I would play if I'm black in that opening. And also maybe what the main points that was very quickly. And then we'll maybe finish a little bit of blitz. Okay, let's have a look. So, 700%. That's more like it, Jimster. So how do we do this? Let's put it on the computer. So I'm going to whack it on the computer. Going to readjust things. It just needs to do... Get started. Yeah. Okay, so... so you can't see the accuracy level. So let me just take a little... It's okay. I'm reasonably satisfied. Let's have a look. Here we go. Let's put that over there. We'll have to get rid of the sail. There we go. 94.5. Did anyone say... Oh, Sundance Kid, you said 94. That's pretty... You're pretty close there, Sundance Kid. Well done. But did anyone say 94.5? Because Christy TV said 94.3. Whoa! You're 2 off. Should we give a free DVD to Christy TV? I don't know if you said it before or after seeing the actual thing. I'll tell you what, Christy TV, as you're the closest, and you know what, I'm feeling generous. Sundance Kid and Christy TV, I'm giving you a free DVD, chess DVD. So if you email me at simon@gingergm.com, you can have a look. You can have a look at the GingerGM selection and pick a DVD, digital download. I'll send it to you. You two, give me an email. Pick a DVD. I would say Fiona's one is very good if you're a weaker player, but if you're not a weaker player, they're all obviously amazing. Okay, so let's have a look at the game. So this opening, the Staunton, I'm not going to repeat myself too much, this is the problem. When you say you'll give a free DVD away, everyone wants one. Did someone get a better guess? Oh, don't let me scroll up. Don't let me wear out my finger by scrolling up, please. Just don't do it. No, I've given it to those two. You're having it, no one else. Okay, so this line with F3 is indeed a dangerous move. Now, I think the best way to deal with this, and I'm sure I can't, my memory, I'm an old man now, so I can't remember stuff as well, but the move I would play would be D5 here. And this is probably the best way to deal with it. When pawn takes E4, and now I'm just trying to think, pawn takes E4 must be best. And this kind of position with bishop C4 is a very interesting position, but I think I came to the conclusion that black should now play knight C6. And if black plays this move, knight C6, and just aims to put the bishop on F5, and then play E6, I wouldn't go E6 straight away because the bishop here is bad. Black is okay because you get enough counterplay against this. You can also play E5 in some situations. So I think this is what this is what I recommended, but I can't remember every single line. I'm not that clever. Okay, so let's go back to the game. So my opponent played E3, which I don't like the look of, because after this I must just be slightly worse, and I think there's no point giving your opponent advantage without getting anything in return. For example, with the move D5, yeah, the position still might be quite dangerous of black, but you have an extra pawn. And as the game developed, well, I think C5 was the move that, yeah, okay, this is what I would have played, because this would have been quite interesting actually, because with this move, black is aiming to get active counterplay. If I take this pawn e5, and all of a sudden this is be right up Jack's street, and this one, and this position with d4 coming. So I think knight c6 is too passive. c5, as I mentioned on the stream, is a much more active way to play. I can see why you didn't want to open up that diagonal, Chesspatzer, but I think it is the way to play it. But this move is maybe unclear. Maybe you're not even that much worse here, to be honest, with knight c6 to follow. Okay, so knight c6, and now as long as I don't let you play one pawn break, and you've always got to be on a watch out for your opponent's pawn breaks, try to stop your opponent's pawn breaks, stop them from getting active. And this move, e5, is the one pawn break he wants to play, I think. So this move is best. And now I think the position... Oh, it doesn't like that move. Why doesn't it like that move? It says it's an inaccuracy. Well, you know what, computer? You can sod off. I don't believe you. Developing a piece is an inaccuracy. Don't always... Have your own opinion of things. Don't always agree with everyone else, you know. And I don't agree with the computer here. And after this, castles is excellent. Wow, the most natural move on the board. Castling kingside is an excellent move. What are you talking about, computer? By the way, I know I'm slagging off the computer, but it is such a brilliant tool, this, and I do love using it to check things very quickly. I mean, it's really, really cool. And if you're a premium member of chess.com, I'm sure other sites do it. I always use chess.com. They treat me well. I love them at chess.com. They're my bros. So, you know, it's a great feature to use. Okay, so now bishop b4, trying to get control of this square. And we'll just have a look a little bit later. This position gets pretty bad for black. Someone asked about bishop e4. Had you played bishop e4, I'd have gone knight g5. And I'm threatening some quite nasty moves here. And I'm certainly quite a lot better in this position. I must be. So bishop d3, though, is really positionally bad for black now, because the knights can't find any squares. When you're playing against your opponent's knights, you should use your pawns to take away their squares. And these knights cannot get anywhere into my position. So all of my pawns are stopping them jumping in. Look at that, it's prison bar. We've got a prison bar position. Beautiful. Yeah, I like that. Let's just put the prison bars there, shall we? Okay, so the game continued, h5, and this is a good way, because when you're a little bit worse, you might as well try to create a bit of counterplay. Now g5 keeps it closed. I might as well threaten a pawn. I don't see any reason why not. And after this move, this is, I think, quite a clever move. I like knight here. Even though the computer doesn't like it, I like this move. I've still got a big advantage, because one thing's where humans differ to computers, and you can always tell a computer cheat, because they always play, they take a lot of unnecessary risks. And this is one position where if I was a computer, I would probably play something else. But knight to h4 is a very human-like move. Forget its thing. Why is this very human-like? Because it takes away any danger to my position. My opponent has only one piece that can get active, and I've stopped that piece from getting active. And this is how you win chess games. To win a chess game, you don't necessarily even need to do anything. To win a chess game, if you just stop your opponent, that is one way to win a game. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. And now, after this move came, we can see that his king is in a lot of trouble. If he castles, I will grab that pawn, and I'll just have a look at a couple more moves. There was one interesting situation here, and the interesting situation was, well, I could have played rook e7 check, which it says is the best move. The reason I did not play this is, well, if my opponent moves the king, he's hopelessly lost, because this is just going to be completely dominating him. Oh, except for that move. Why is that a blunder? It says that's a massive blunder. Look at the computer. It says it's a massive blunder even though I'm still winning. Oh dear, computer. I'm frying your brain. But what I was a bit more worried about was if he sacks his queen. And now, for example, I go check. And then if I try to come here, he goes rook e8. And this kind of position I wasn't sure was so easy to win, because black doesn't really have any weaknesses, and he now has congestion of the open file. So how do I break through? Of course, this should be very good for me, but it's not easy to win. So that is why, and again, I'm just demonstrating my thinking here, I played c4 first. And I want to open up his position more, and only now that he's moved his knight back do I play rook in. And the reason for this now, if the same thing happens, I can now get control of the open file, and he can't put a rook on e8 because he's discombobulated his back rank. The knight on f8 is in the way, so this will be winning, and we don't care what the computer says there, because the computer says no. Computer says no. I love to. I don't know if anyone knows that scene from. Is it Little Britain? Oh, I love that scene. Computer says no. Computer says no. No. Computer doesn't like it. It's good. A little comedy in England. So anyway, so there we go. Thank you for the game, Jackson. I've said I'm only doing an hour stream today, boys and girls. My next stream is tomorrow at the same time. And tomorrow, what am I doing tomorrow? I better look at my Facebook page. Let's have a look. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. This is my Facebook page. If you want to have a look, this is where I put my schedule and stuff. That's my Facebook page. You can go and join up. And let's just see what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. What am I doing tomorrow, people? Tomorrow, I am doing a question and answer in the black line. So for those of you who have bought the course, thinking about buying the course, you can ask me anything you like about the black line. And the black line, of course, is a great course, is the opening. Let me just flip this properly, and it's really against e4, where we go for this setup. Stage 1 is, as such, this is stage 1. Oh, what am I doing? Got to play some moves for my opponent. Stage 1. Stage 2 is consolidate center. So let's just play some moves. And stage 3, especially when you have a hook, this is where it gets sexy, boys and girls. This is where you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Stage 3 is you play this innocuous, is that the right word? Looking move. And then we go, and we go, whoa, yes please, sir. And one game I talk about in the course, we're going g4, we're bringing the knight around here, we're trying to checkmate the king. This is the black line, the latest course I've done for Chessable. It's on sale for a limited time. I mean, the book is under $20 now, I think. So it's a really good price for the book. It's nearly 15 hours of videos. Now, I'll be honest, the videos are a little bit expensive, £71 or $71, but you get so much value for that. You get me seriously explaining an opening for nearly 15 hours. And if you do get that, you'll never need to have an opening again. This will be your lifelong opening. So it is expensive, but it is actually also good value for money. So go and check it out. And also you support me. That's very nice of you to do that. So, yeah, what's I going to show you? Oh, yeah, one thing I've had quite a lot is this idea. And I had a lot of fun playing this. And one thing I talk about in the course is them playing h5 and just checkmating white. I'm getting carried away. Well, we'll do this tomorrow. We will do this tomorrow. Okay, right. Well, look, everyone, thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm going to order a Domino's, and I might have one cheeky beer. I might not, actually. I might have a day off. But thank you for coming along. Thanks for the email, Christy. I think it's Christy. Thank you, everyone else. Thank you, Chesspatzeruk-TWITCH for the game. And just everyone who's come along and joined in. Anyone who's subbed and I forgot to say sorry, thank you as well. I apologise for not saying thank you. And yeah, just thank you. And I'll be back tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Check out the course tomorrow. Here it is. Let me just do my little promo video to end the show. And I'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully. I'm streaming every day this week. You can look at my Facebook page to find out when I'm streaming. There you go. That's my streaming schedule. You can see it there. Okay, let's just play this video again. Oh, it's such a cool video. Check this out, people. This is a cool video. It's only 30 seconds long. You can handle it. If it works, which it doesn't. Great. Let's try again.